All right, hello. This is Alexander Wales. What are we doing today? We are streaming Thresholder. This is right now everything that exists of Thresholder. It is a new thing that I'll be writing for National Novel Writing Month. The basic premise is just that it's a jump chain, um, except I didn't really know what a jump chain was. And so I heard jump chain and I like is like moving from world to world and you gradually like accumulate powers from every world and there's like a plot to solve every world and stuff. And apparently that's not really what a jump chain is. You have like catalogs and jump documents and a whole bunch of stuff that carries with you from world to world, and I thought that was boring. So I'm gonna do my own version of this. So this is not everything that exists of it, but this is all the text that's been written. I wrote like 1,000 words or something, but I'm tossing that and starting over. Before I do any writing, I'm just gonna do some detail tracking, which is just names of people and their role within the story, and this is just gonna be three names. Three. So we do name, gender, appearance, abilities, origins. This is all stuff that, if you're doing National Novel Writing Month, you want to do before you start. Normally, I don't do this in Google Docs. Yeah, there's a lot of jump chain is like stupid wish fulfillment. Um, Stuff. And it's got a lot of like the worst instincts. What do I actually want here? I want surnames. Just give me like a Dutch surname. No, it's not even that I wanted to do that, but good. I need to stop going to novel outline. uh, I'll try not to like. The novel outline has some like plans for it, but um, I did write an outline that. In fact, I'll just close the novel outline. I wrote an outline, but I'm not too um, set on sticking with it. What did I pick here? We'll say Holzmann, which is German. This may never be mentioned in the story. Male. This is all just a continuity tracking stuff. Stuff that might not come up, but it's better to have it to have it all in place. I'm gonna try to focus on the writing. Um, Probably add personality here. So one of the things that people love is Personality is agency. No, just dashed it off. Just dash it off, and if I need to figure out where that scar came from, probably just like some lame childhood thing. So like my immediate idea is that's the kind of thing that you're like, oh, he's got a scar. But it's I knew a woman who had a faint scar. I never figured out, or I never learned where that was from, but she had like a cool faint scar below her left eye. She was in like a mom's group, and I always thought that was like a super cool scar. So personality. We'll say this horizontal. See, I'm not sure I want to do inquisitive. I kind of had the idea that just do someone who does like absolutely no introspection, who just does things. Okay, so the base premise, which I will here. I'll put in the synopsis here. Okay, there's the synopsis of that I have so far. This we're starting not on his first world. We're starting on his third world, and so there's stuff in the background that is important, but like gets revealed over time, and then I think there's a thing that, because this is like technically isekai, or however you say that, isekai. A lot of the problem with that is that you either gloss over the backstory because it's just like boring Earth stuff, or you include it and it's boring Earth stuff, which are both to me problems. And I don't want to do Earth stuff very much. So instead, we're going to start him on like the third world, so he has at least a little bit of experience with this being a thresholder. And what's a thresholder? It's someone who moves between worlds. Here, we'll say. Acquiring powers along the way. Okay. So his origins are Earth. He's like a grad student geography, trivia nights, loop back to Earth. It's gonna be like Sliders, where like technically maybe. Oh, go to back to a previous world. I'm gonna say technically maybe, but from the start that's not necessary, or it's not known. So we're gonna start with very very soon, once I actually start writing. We're gonna start with like what Perry knows about his situation, which is not very much. Right, I'm going to write out the brief version, which will be expanded on, but this is not how we're actually starting the book. Here's the order of events. Here. Out on a hike. I don't know if Sorry, I'm trailing off. Ended up in a higher tech world with power armor. Um, okay. This is the general backstory. Just have that in place. Okay. What kind of person is Perry? I don't know about that. I don't know if I can write a no introspection character and still have fun with it. Someone who does not think about themselves? Or who thinks about, like, other things but not about themselves? Maybe that can work. Um, I'll say drawn to. Geography is mostly because I like. I took a couple geography courses um, in college, and uh, I mean it could affect the plot for sure, but um, we're being very loose with it. So, but geography is chosen because you can't just say he's a grad student. Um, there needs to be some, you know, just being a generic grad student would be, in my opinion, bad writing. Um, but geography is there's a lot uh, that goes into geography and the study of um, this no, like actual geography is about the material conditions of the world and how they interact with each other and how they interact with people. There's a lot to geography, but him having some knowledge of geography is helpful in the sense of him being able to pay attention to and know about that kind of stuff. So if he finds himself in a new place, he'll be looking at a lot of the stuff that you wouldn't necessarily look at if you had no background or training. And I took like I think 2 geography courses in college, so I can write about it with some level of expertise and not just be totally wrong about it. Uh, so not how. Okay. It's not. I mean, it's not like landscape, right? Like the actual study of geography is like how the material conditions of a place affect like weather and affect human habitation and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like part of the study of geography is like why is there always going to be a city at the end of the Mississippi River, right? It's because of the trade that comes from being like the end point of a major river. So like New Orleans or something like it is always going to exist just because of um, just because there's a major river there, right? The river begets the city and stuff like that. It's interesting to me. So I don't think it's going to come up that much, but if it does come up, we have an excuse for him to be thinking these things, and I think I can write about it with enough believability that no one will call me on it. Also, cut's good. So, but this is like. See, these are like relatively long. 1 month, 2 months. Sure. And then I'll have a list of open questions, which might go in this. So then we're also going to need. Until the Mississippi moves, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of super interesting geography stuff. It's not a lot of people say geography, they think the study of like the names of all the continents and stuff like that, and a lot of it is not that. It like bleeds into architecture and anthropology and a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, what does Perry know? Can't reuse woodworking. I do know a little bit of woodworking, like enough to make picture frames and boxes and maybe a table or something. Um, Here, we'll say geeky, but not too geeky. Yeah, metalworking is actually like I'm not gonna say not that useful if it's not your trade, but like there's a lot of metalworking stuff that I don't know. I feel like woodworking is useful on a personal level, and metalworking tends not to be unless you're like working on cars and stuff. I mean, you need like okay. So before he steps through this portal, the question I'm trying to answer for myself, much more than for the story, because I don't really think it's gonna be that important. But like, what kind of person is Perry before he steps through this portal? Um, I went to grad school because I mean, okay. In I had a metalworking class in high school. Like I've done welding and stuff, but I've done welding and like machining of parts and stuff. I just don't I don't find metalworking that interesting, and um, these are not things that are gonna like get thrown into the story necessarily. This is a detail tracking background thing, and if I decide in the middle of writing that we need more stuff, here we're gonna do family. Yeah, it can retcon in a hobby. I just want to get some sense of who this guy is, in terms of informing his character, and then we don't mention like most of this is not going to get mentioned, for this like section. That's a thing, right? Respiratory therapist. Mostly, you write a thing like this in order to not trip over your own shoes. Um, and I think Richter is like the most important person in this backstory. I don't know. So there's two ways to go with Richter. Either Richter is like a kind-hearted geek, or Richter is a love interest. I'm trying to decide. I just don't want it to be like a wish fulfillment thing. This is where, if you're smart, you make a template for yourself to copy. And this is all that I need for this character who is dead. Well, okay, so there's different ways of doing wish fulfillment. No, this is absolutely going to be wish fulfillment. It's like in the sense that you're jumping from world to world and you're gaining new powers and stuff like that. But I think that there's a point where Um, yeah, where it's cringe. Um, do we need appearance? How tall are women? How tall are women? 5'4"? That seems short. 5'6". What? No. Okay. Average American is 5'9". No, it seems too short to me because I'm 6 foot, 6 foot even. Um, I felt so. I went to South Korea, um, and uh, I felt so tall. I would go through tunnels sometimes, and I'm like, there's like an inch of clearance uh, for my head. Okay, so we'll say, what did I say, 5'4"? 5'4", sure. That is not enough appearance. This is also stuff that, like, yeah, my wife is, I think, 5'6", and so she is the woman I'm around like 95% of the time, and so I'm like, yeah, that must be an average height. Uh, Green eyes. Okay. So Richter's dead, but Richter's like the most important character in the backstory. So I just want to make sure. Oh, age. We'll put her at like 32. 32 is old enough to have cashed out, and as a grad student, you'd be 18. Finish undergrad at 22 or 23. 2 years in grad school. We'll say it's 24, which is fine. I don't need. I'm not going to do it like timeline or anything. And most other characters are just going to be character name dash blah blah blah, right? Um, but someone who's going to be referenced multiple times just need to. Uh, we'll call it the. Uh, Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for now, but I want to just have this document open and ready so that I can not trip up over it. Most of the details are going to be in the thing itself. And then we're just going to grab that and just put this in detail tracking, which is not where it goes. There should be a like third plotting document. There's a third plotting document, but okay. Uh, shoot. Grab that. There is, I think I named this sword. I'm just gonna go grab. Grab that sword name. Unless I did not name the sword. Okay. Okay, whatever. I definitely did not name the sword. You gotta name your swords, though. Okay, so we name... Put in some names. Marchand, also known as March, and the sword. We're doing like a Napoleonic theming that is not going to amount to much. This is not Napoleon's like. Okay, what's a French word? No, we're not going to be lazy like that. Okay. Maybe the sword will remain unnamed. There's a line in A Song of Ice and Fire where they dunk on people who name their swords. I always do. This will be, I will, once I, here, we can just call this thresholder. I will put this, or just available on sharing once the stream is done, and then I won't necessarily stream every single time I write this, but I will stream most of them. Is my plan. My plan is to just stream like at least an hour every day and at least do 2,000 words every day. And I have 41 so far, off to a roaring start. Um, okay, so we are scene setting and we're getting initial information about Perry. Um, what? Okay, so the arc reactor is just a fusion reactor. Is that... I don't understand what... okay, it's whatever. In Iron Man, it's technobabble. I think that's fine to just say microfusion reactor and be done with it. Okay, we go back to detail tracking. We go origins. We go, he will be from a Midwestern state. No, we're going to say Oregon. We're going to say Washington. say from like the suburbs of Tacoma. I know nothing about Tacoma. Hopefully that will not be a problem. Okay. Oh, so he's near Mount Rainier. And then he's like going to college in the area. Olympic National Park, Rainier National Park. Man, I want to go to Seattle sometime. Seattle seems cool. Okay, I could just go to Canada instead. Go to Vancouver. Okay, anyway, I needed that detail because I don't want him to just be from a generic place. That's another thing where I think that's bad writing to just it's not bad writing to leave it generic. It's bad to not have it in mind, just not pin those things down. Here, we'll give him a sister too. Just because then you can bring that stuff in later on and have it be consistent, and so long as it's in the back of your mind, you're not going to contradict yourself as much. I do this for anything I write. I try to like keep stuff, but well, like I said, I know nothing about Tacoma. You would just say suburb of Seattle if he lives in like I don't know, Parkland. Sorry, that was a question. would you if he grew up in like, let's say somewhere in this area in Parkland, would you say that's a suburb of Tacoma or a suburb of Seattle, or would you just say I live in Parkland, it's near Tacoma? Or would you just say that this is like a neighborhood? I don't know. I've never lived in a suburb, which I know is probably shocking. I really do feel like I lived in a suburb, but we'll say Parkland. Okay. Anyway, moving on. At least so far as Perry had known scholars. Known from the scholars. No, not dragons. I will put. Yeah, I don't know anything about Parkland, but we're just putting it in there so that we can say that he is from a specific place, and then we don't need to worry about it later. And it will probably not ever be mentioned within the story because I don't know why you would, but. I am. I don't want to do too much backstory at once because I think you just like you start with this and then you don't want to like do backstory too much because I think it immediately slows things down. Marchand is the well, he will always be referred to as Marchand within the narrative. My attempt. I'm going to attempt to complete it during Nano. Actually, I'm going to attempt to complete it during Royal Roads Write-a-thon, which lasts until December 7th or something like that. But for them, it's 55,000 words or something like that. And then, so in theory, if you're doing Write-a-thon and Nano at the same time, in theory, it's a shorter story. In theory, it's going to be 3 worlds of about 20,000 words each. And if it goes long, sorry for the crinkling, I'm eating a candy bar. Because it was Halloween last night. In theory, if it goes long, that is absolutely not a problem for me. But so it's hopping from world to world. We do like one world every 20,000 words, and if we go long, then it doesn't matter at all. It's not a problem to go long, which means I probably will go long. Okay, I'm gonna eat this candy bar and then wipe my fingers off and then type some. Yep, leftover Halloween. My son is 6, so we took him out. But we also, gave out candy at our house. We did like 10 blocks in total. He got more candy than he'll eat over the next month because he's limited on candy, not because he for sure would eat more than that, but. Yeah, if you wanna shill it, I think this will. I think I'll post. I want to do like 2,000 word chapters because then I can, in theory, do like one a day. I don't know how possible that's going to be, but so I have, in fact. Let me find it. Sorry. I have, in fact, a new fiction submission. I'm going to do this at the end of the stream. But they require a prologue. This is me. This is going to be chapter 1. But it's going to be like super short daily chapters. But yeah, if you want to show it, I'll probably link it somewhere. With the hop to another world. Yeah, make a note. Vehicles. Oh, that's the wrong name there. I know I said that he would always be Marchand in text. I'm like immediately regretting that. What are we at? 500 words? Okay. We're gonna do 2,000 words and then we're gonna just cap off the chapter and be done for the day because I got other writing to do. And I've committed myself to doing some editing of the Worth the Candle Exclusionist doc today as well, but that comes after I finish my Dungeons chapter for tomorrow. just as easily have been. Um, Marchand was Napoleon's body man, I guess we would call him now, or his like aide de camp or something. Valet. But this is where the this is where the name comes from. Anyway, we say see out of. Right. Feeling a bit of relief. So New York is right on the river. Boston, where's Boston? Boston is right on the river. Lisbon is right on the river. See, what's weird about London is that London is like kind of a port city, but also kind of like you have to go so far up the Thames to get to London. Okay. I will leave maps open. I'm not looking for anything. I'm doing a comparison of cities. So this city is like, as described, empties out into is like what is this? Oh, I stayed at that hotel. This city, as described, it has a river which empties out into the ocean. So it's not like London. London, if you were in London, you would not say this is. Whoops. If you were in London, you would not say that this is. That this is a city with a river that like empties out. You would say that this is if you were like in the middle of London and you were looking around. I don't think, even if you were pretty high up, I don't think you'd be able to see all the way to whatever this bay is called. I feel certain that this bay has a name. So this is a city that's more like Boston or New York than like London. See, normally I would. Normally I would take like 15 minutes to just find out what you can see from like the Eye of London, because there's got to be like millions of pictures. Is that really they call like this area the estuary? Okay. Anyway, Victor. $18.20. No, it's not. I mean, it. There's a lot of smog and stuff, but it's not. It's not an impenetrable wall. It like okay, so it's not Victorian area, but there's an episode of The Crown. Maybe it wasn't The Crown, but okay, no. Visibility was not that bad. It was bad. But it wasn't that bad. I think the worst it was like it was like giving people black lung. Here. What was visibility? What? What? Well, this is fog. This isn't smog. Pea soup fog, yeah. Yeah, but that was like the 50s. The great smog of London. Um Okay. What a wonderful bit of what a wonderful bit of research. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be done with this. Oh jeez, 4,000 deaths over a couple days. Um, keep that open. Okay. I don't often leave myself comments. It depends on what I'm writing, but I sometimes leave myself comments of like what I was thinking, just so I can go back through uh, and see. What are we at? We're at 1,000 words. Cap this off at 2,000. I mean, I do think there's something. Here. Oh, this is one thing I want to include. What's an oxygen scrubber? What is an oxygen scrubber? That's a carbon dioxide scrubber. USAQI. No, I don't. Just fine. Accept cookies. Oh, there's a neat map. We'll say. We'll say. Well, okay. Oh, I guess they wouldn't have the same AQI thing if they're in like divergent history. I think that this microfusion reactor is, for the purposes of story, actually pretty limited. Um, One of the reasons that I want power to be like an actual concern, that you can't, there's not enough power from the microfusion reactor to just like run at full force. I think it's more interesting that way, to not be able to run at full force for like uh, a billion years or whatever. Um, does that make? Hopefully that makes sense. So I think it is limited in that sense. Um, yeah, parts per million is probably how to do it. But yeah, so I don't think this is gonna have parts per million. ppm, no parts. Okay, I'm spending too much time on this. Dirty Father Tams. Okay. Um, yeah, okay. I am spending too much time on this, but that's how we do it sometimes. Um, so this is particular matter of right, but I want. right. I just want to know, like, what's... Well, okay, so in terms of air pollution, there's like fine particulate matter, right? And apparently that's in like they use PM 2.5, which is particulate matter below 2.5 microns or something like that. But that's different from like having a bunch of particulate matter in the air is bad, but yeah, you also want to be tracking different, yeah, carbon monoxide. Obviously, I'm not being too much of a stickler about like do you still call it a network? Like, I'm not being that much of a stickler about the alternate history stuff, um, because I think it's just confusing and does not read well. Um, yeah, this is like the worst these are like the pictures that people take of the most polluted day in China. Um, I don't. I think that this is probably one of the. What is this? Oh, source contributions. But these are just like the pictures that people take, and so these pictures are probably taken on like the worst day. They're not taken on an average day. So like after a like heavy rain or a nice breeze. Yeah, these are probably like wildfire smoke is probably what a lot of people in the Western United States are most familiar with. Yeah, so this is Beijing on a bad day and a good day. I think Victorian London was probably a lot like this. where on a bad day the city is absolutely choked, and on a good day, yeah. Are wildfires a big problem up near Seattle? I thought that was more of a like Southern California thing. Um, we have the magic of the internet. Wildfires map. Oh boy. Allow? No. You don't need my map. Yeah, okay. We get almost no. I live here. I live in Duluth, Minnesota. You're right that is a good point. Okay. Um, so I'm thinking now about how to end this chapter. And I think we end it with this concept, which is already in the synopsis, of an adversary, which helps explain some of this like paranoia. Yeah, I've never been anywhere near the Pacific Northwest. I think the furthest north I've been in on the coast is San Francisco, which is not in, like close at all. So, um, this is one of those things I don't know. Matchlock versus Flintlock. I think. I need to see what a flintlock pistol looks like. Yeah. We'll say percussion cap. Um, okay, so this opening chapter is just Oh, there's these big towers. Semaphore towers? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Semaphore towers are neat, though. The telegraph tower. This is not. I don't want this. This is like a specific. There's a specific picture I'm looking for that I was thinking of. Telegram. So semaphore is semaphore is like that thing that you see on airlines. It's this thing. For airplanes, it's basically a way of signaling where you use flags to make different letters and stuff. Very easy to see from a distance, so it's used for distance communication if you don't have like a walkie-talkie or something, and even sometimes if you do, in conjunction with a walkie-talkie. This is semaphore, and what they had was semaphore towers. Just get a full size of this. So this has different flags that can be put in different positions, and then you use a telescope and you can communicate with ships out there. That's not what I was looking for, though. Maybe I'm looking for a telegram tower? There's a specific picture that I'm looking for so that I can describe it if I want to use it. What is this? What are these? Anyway, people... No, is that what I'm looking for? I mean, these are optical telegraphs. But yeah, so what you can do is you can build relays of this. So you have like a number of these towers, and they can signal to each other, and this is like long distance communication. But that's not what I was. This is not what I was looking for. I was looking for like a. Giant tower with a bunch of wires? No, you're just going to give me transmission towers. Which is not what I want. Sorry, I'm looking for a specific image so I can know what exactly it was. Whatever. I'm abandoning that. Yeah, the clackers are based on semaphore towers. Oh, it even says semaphore towers. And no pictures. I might be thinking of telephone towers. This is semaphore towers are visual, purely visual. That's why you see at the top of the tower is usually someone with a telescope. This is what I'm looking for. This thing, this crazy thing. Yeah, thank you so much. Marbled Mythos. I am 100% thinking of the Stockholm telephone tower. That. Well, no. This is an electrical system. Semaphore towers are an optical system. I don't think I'm going to include this, but I was thinking about this. This is 1890. One thing we need in detail tracking is, excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Um, okay. I will write down further relevant facts. Dam is not the wrong. Transport? Major? Okay. Good enough. Electric telegraph. How are these powered then? right. I don't think there were electrical grids. I think I mean, okay. All right, let's go. Okay. See, this says 1880s. And then this thing was invented in the 1830s. I'm pretty sure it's like a crank-powered battery. Because I went to a colonial reenactment place, but it was like not quite colonial. And I did one of those like crank-powered things, and you would have I think it was called a Leyden jar. So it's like this thing. This is a little too early. Okay, storage of a charge. Franklin bells. It's probably Ben Franklin, just a little too early. Yeah, like it says complete the electric circuit of the battery, but how's the battery being, like, what is the battery? Okay, let's find this. Volta battery. Okay, just discoverer of methane. Electric battery. A voltaic pile. Okay, I'm under the assumption that these telegraphs would work with something like this. That's all this article says on batteries. Sorry, this is another digression. The Daniel cell. Oh, there. Power source for the electrical telegraph. What is this? Electrochemical cells. Copper pot filled with copper sulfate solution. Okay, that is exactly what I needed. And then I can close this. You're 2 hours late. Yeah, there's not that much writing that's been done. When did I start? I started 11:30. This is like 2 hours for almost 2,000 words, which is about normal. Um, I'm going to be done soon, and then this will just be chapter one. And I'm not doing any editing whatsoever. Because that's how you go fast. You go fast by not editing. Um, yeah, that's the spirit of Nano. So you don't do editing. Uh, you know what really bothers me about Iron Man is that he always like he like gets into his armor sometimes wearing a full suit, and I'm just like that would be so like it would ride up and it would be like super impractical, and then you don't get like the close fit that helps protect you. That's always bothered me. Um, like yeah, there are no, I mean he does have custom suits, but you just look at it and you're like, okay, so he's wearing like a full suit like beneath this armor. It doesn't make any sense. Um, it'd be like an astronaut wearing a full suit beneath their spacesuit, or like we don't have that for there's a specific clip I'm thinking of from one of the Avengers movies where he's just been like flying around as Iron Man and he lands and the like he has like the automatic suit remover at that point in the movies, and then it just sort of like takes the suit off of him and he's just like fully dressed in a suit beneath it with like a jacket and everything. It just really bothered me. It bothered me because it seemed so like there was no. Maybe that's it. Okay, I'm gonna try to find. Okay, I don't think this will have. I think it's this one. Okay, it might not be. Also, I don't know why the frame rate is like this. No, this like that suit's fine. There's a different one. there's a different one where he's wearing, like, even these clothes seem like he's wearing shoes inside the power armor. Doesn't make sense, but it wasn't that one. It was a different one. I don't know. In one of the future ones, the clothes that he normally wears, like, are part of the suit, so that's fine. And then, like, the advanced nano machines, whatever, that's fine too. It was just one of the specific ones where you have this, like, form-fitted, custom-made power armor. I don't know. I probably won't be able to find it, but there is at least some Iron Man inspiration for Perry's power armor, except he can't fly with it. He doesn't have repulsors or anything, which I do need to get into this at some point. Yeah, okay. So we're past 2,000 words. That's good. That's beyond the target for today. We did it. uh, yeah, it might have been. Okay, here. I am going to try to find the scene. Yeah, I think it's blah, 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 blah. It might have been this one.
If you even cared, you'd actually be here.
I did listen, kid. Who do you think called the FBI, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is... I saw this and I was just like, so he flies around
14-year-old kid.
15.
in, like, a full suit.
All right, the adult is talking. What if somebody had died tonight? Different story, right? Because that's unusual.
I don't know. I was thinking about that because in, like, full plate you have a Gambason. You have, like, a specific outfit beneath it. To, you know, because if you're in a suit of armor, especially one that you're going to be wearing a while, you worry about, like, chafing. You worry about pinching. You worry about, like, it riding up, and all these kinds of things because you can't, like, I guess for Iron Man he can just, like, step out of it and whatever, but yeah, you have a specific underclothes that you wear. Yes, that does include stealing the word entad. Right. That comes later. The nanomaterial stuff comes later. And yeah, feel free to use the word entad. It's not. I mean, it's a word that I needed a word for the specific thing of a like non-replicable or unique magic item, as opposed, because if you just say a magic item, people are like, oh, well, you could just like why aren't wizards just churning them out or something, and that at least makes it clear that this is not like something everyone has or something that everyone can have. All right, I have at most 30 minutes left, and then my son's gonna be home from first grade, so I do want to get to a good stopping point so that I can submit this. I was going to. Replace this picture, and then Royal Road does not let you submit without chapter content. And then it says that there's time for submission. So after you submit, then there's some problems. So this might take up to 2 days to actually be on Royal Road, but I'll put a link in chat once I'm finished. I don't like doing that while the stream is running, because you hit share and it exposes email addresses, I think, of like people who it's already shared with, which is not a huge deal, but for those specific people in my case. But this should be shared already with 2 people that I don't want to. And there's no reason for it to do that. I mean, I guess there is. Like, whatever. To his initial disappointment. And I'm gonna try to like not. This makes me feel like I should do an editing task. I will do a second look through. We're going to do microfusion as one word. Um. We say 7. You don't do a stolen armor arc as your first arc. uh, you need to have the armor for a while before it can be stolen and be interesting. You need at least one fight scene. The problem with this opening chapter has not had a fight scene. Oh yeah, I don't talk a lot while writing, or at least I shouldn't, because it makes writing much slower. But I'm almost done. Why am I streaming this? I think some of it people will find interesting. I mean, you have to take off your armor, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Like, that you cannot, like, just... So this is a D&D thing where people just, See, like 2,500. Okay. Where people are just like, oh yeah, I just wear my full plate all the time. I never get out of my full plate. I just don't. I think you'd you'd run into problems. I think you'd chafe. It like rubs at your skin and stuff. I'm gonna call this chapter 1. By the by. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna work on this end part. I want this to be findable, to be control F-able. I'm just going to do X chapter. Yeah, it's just, I mean, sleeping in full plate is awful, and you should not do it in real life, and people only do it in D&D if they can get away with it. I think it has penalties in every single edition of D&D, because it's not really something that would be commonly done in the medieval era. Chapter. Nope. I just want it to be X chapter so that if I use chapter in... Maybe I don't need this last line. Maybe we just end on that. I mean, you also have to sleep. Always end a chapter on a new line. It makes it feel like it has more punch to it. And then, okay, so I'm ready to submit this. I will do that. I was going to say I'll do that off stream. Open original, save file as, save it in pictures. Put up be right back just in case I expose something on my file system. I think there's just some pictures of me. Yeah, I think, oh no, there's oh, choose file, thresholder, open. Yeah. Okay. We've got our image. Image credit goes to Zero Virus. Okay, how are we good to go on this? I think don't include Discord, Patreon, or PayPal links. They don't say don't include Twitch links. I can't include an author's note. Okay, whatever. We submit. We go fast and we break things. Can close this and close this. Thresholder. Pending submission. All right, I'm going to put up be right back for just a sec and hit the share button. Go anyone with the link can view. I don't want people commenting on this. there is the sharing link. I'll post that in Discord as well. Okay, and I am done just in time for my son to come home. I will be back tomorrow, do another 2,000 words or so, and I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me, and see you tomorrow. And then this will be up on VOD. So see you later.